A blueprint is just a plan until the right hands bring it to life. Because in building, just like in life, it's not only about how you start, it's about how you finish as well. Welcome to the Build Up Podcast, brought to you by Holt's Hardware, the show for home builders and dreamers on a mission to build from the ground up.
That's my girl. I'll be your friend at the very end.
But before we get into today's episode, make sure you're following us on Instagram and TikTok at Holt's Hardware JA. Today we have with us Calvin and Danny, a team of tradesmen who specialize in drywall installations, bathroom installations, plumbing, as well as carpentry. And they're here today to share some tips and tricks, as well as show us the grit it takes to make it happen. Welcome, Danny and Calvin.
Okay, nice to be here.
It's good to be here.
So you, along with your other team members, work at both residential and commercial spaces. Could you tell us about the common types of projects people usually call you for and the places you normally work at?
Well, we do a wide range of renovation and everything from a pin to anchor. We do.
And you work in schools, business places?
Business place, church, wherever you need a renovation to be done, we'll be there.
Okay, awesome. We know that quality matters, especially when it comes to the finishing touches of a house, drywall, carpentry. Tell the people how you normally go about the drywall process.
Okay, well, the drywall process, well, what we do, we actually, we go there and we look and see, get the idea what you want, and then we would actually give you our ideas, and with your ideas combined together and come to one conclusion and show you where drywall would need it and where it wouldn't be needed. So like for extra inside the bathroom, the type of drywall you would want inside the bathroom, because you have the water resistant and you have the splicing board that would be good for the tiling and the water.
All right, so break that down for the people. This splice and what is it? Splice?
Yeah, splicing. You can actually call it concrete board if you can remember. They just tell them concrete board.
Okay, so explain to the people what the concrete board is used for.
Well, it's a tougher material than the drywall. It can actually use outdoor.
Mm-hmm.
It can actually use outdoor. If you're doing a liquor thing around by your back and you don't want to use the hard cement and all of that, you can use that. And it's water resistant just the same.
So that's the one that's suitable for the bathroom?
Yes, right.
Okay, so Calvin, tell the people, how can you tell the difference between a drywall job that is well done versus one that is just rushed, like a Ori come up drywall?
Oh, well, a drywall job that is well done, you won't be seeing the ribs in it. Well, and when I said ribs, I'm talking about like the stud. The screws will be synced in the drywall. It will plaster it properly. Then the plaster is the compound.
So essentially the drywall is supposed to have a smooth look. You're not supposed to see any
finish.
bumps.
You won't see any bumps. The screw
like
wall will be
wall.
covered.
It will be looking like a flat wall. When it's done properly, smooth, when you paint it, you don't see any ilan gully and all of that.
You won't see any bumps in it.
All right, so tell us about how you paint the drywall to ensure that you get that smooth finish.
All right, first thing, you sand it down. You sand it down with a 180 sandpaper to rub it down, and you have a primer with any primer you choose to use. Wall primer first, because they always recommend that, to use a primer. And then after you prime it with a prime coat, then you use the color paint that you want to complete.
To your finish.
Repeat?
Your finishing color that you need after the priming.
Mm-hmm.
You use, as we said before, as Danny said, you use any color you want to do the priming, and then the recommended color that you choose to finish, then we'll use last.
Many Jamaicans, including myself, I can include myself in this one, question the strength of drywall. You might think, boy, it's a little bit flimsy. Do you believe drywall is flimsy? And what would you tell a Jamaican who is of that belief?
No, well, I used to have that belief one of the time when I just come in contact with drywall. I used to have that belief because you just take it up and it break. But you see, after you put it up and paint it and all of that. It's solid. It is very solid. And all right, if it's even wall and you abuse it, concrete wall and you abuse it, it's gonna break. So the drywall, you definitely have to bang something hard in it to for it to break like that. And it's so good for, all right, for instance, if you have a space where you don't really decide your mind, say, all right, I'm going to use it this way. When you use the drywall and set it up, if you feel like you want to pull it down, you pull it down and start it. You don't have to do over the floor again when you move the drywall. Because if you're tile already, you can just choose where the tile, the growth in the growth line to screw from that area. So, and when you put up the drywall, if you move it, all you got to do is put back a little growth in the hole that you move the drywall from, and you're good to go. Change up your areas how you want it, in the way you want it again.
So what you're telling me is that the drywall is more customizable and it just depends on how you carry it.
Very, very well. And you'd have to really abuse it for it to mash up. Trust me, you have to really abuse it for it to mash up like that. I use all over Jamaica now, man. You only want to have an empty space like this. You want to have an empty space like here, an open space, and you choose what you want to do with that space. So
all right,
easy.
for instance then, you have a limited amount of space and you said, all right, I want to add a bathroom to this room, a bathroom and a closet.
Right.
There where you use your drywall.
Okay. You guys do carpentry as well.
Correct.
So I want to know a little bit about, if I'm going to buy some furniture, how do I tell if a piece of furniture is very well made or if it's poor quality?
Well, I would advise you if you don't know about furniture, because furniture look good, but most furniture look good, but they are not strong. So if you want to know a good piece of furniture, maybe you have to, like even for me now, I can actually just by looking at the furniture or lift it or so and know if it's a good quality wood, make it, or you understand? Because most of the furniture is like compressed, but it look real good.
When you say compress, what do you mean by that?
Compressed board.
Compressed board?
Yes, so if water catch it, it starts to swell. If you push it too hard, the joints them pull apart. You understand? Not like how back in later days we used to use like mortise and tenant and all of that. Now them just use screws and that's it.
So what's the mortise and
Mortise
tenant?
and tenant.
Mortise
What's
and
that?
tenant, all right.
Yeah.
You would cut out, you have a cutout on one part and a hole on one.
Yeah.
So you would show the thing. But now they use a thing
It's like
called,
a male and a female.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now you have butt joints.
Oh,
You just-
the mortise and tenant is a type of joint.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now you have a butt joint. You just put it together and screw it.
Oh,
There's
okay.
nothing holding it away from the screw and the glue.
Okay. So you would be in the industry for quite some time, maybe over 25 years,
Yeah.
although it don't necessarily look like it. What are some of the trends you're seeing popping up in terms of furniture? What do the people like?
All right. Well, it depends it depends. Different people like different things. You have some people like furniture like with a whole lot of pattern, and you have people who like furniture with just simple, straight furniture, like myself, just like straight furniture.
No designs.
No
flat.
carving and all of that. And you have people who love furniture with a lot of carving. And in sense, so in like that, you see, most of the furniture with the carving are some real strong furnitures.
Why?
Local,
Why is that?
especially locally made, because those you have to joint them, mortise and tenant, those furniture. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So most of those furniture we see what them do with a lot of carving, especially the local made furniture. I'm not talking about the imported furniture, because the imported furniture have like stamp out those carving and just piece them on.
Yeah,
But But
They're called mold that they use
the
to
mold.
do those.
Repeat?
Mold.
But
They
the
use a
mold was
mold to do
carving.
those.
Oh,
So they
okay.
would just have the mold, put it in it, and then after it came out, then they just glue it on the surface.
Right. But the local made, the carver, you have to get a carver to carve in those. Not easily come off like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they usually use to carve it.
You have a set of
Set
carving tool,
carving.
chisels, carving chisel. Yeah. You have all of
Okay.
that, yeah.
I would really say that you have a wide portfolio because you don't just do carpentry, you don't just do drywall, you do bathroom installations as well,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Walk me through the process of completing a bathroom from scratch.
All right, let me tell you now. First, you decide where you want to put your bathroom, where you're gonna get your outlets, your sewage, your water, or your hot water pipe, and all of that. And then after you decide that, where you're going to put it, the road where you're going to take with the pipes to put in the bathroom, you decide that. Then the next thing you have to have the faucet, the pipe what you're going to use, because you have various type of pipes now. So you have to know that how to set the plumbing to for the pipes. So you get the pipes and all of that and the faucet, so you can set it in the wall. After you prepare and put the pipes in the wall, you put in the pipes in the wall now. Then the last thing, then you tile. After you do the tiling and all of that, then you put on the pipes and the bathroom now. Now for vanity now, you have to choose for the space that you have. Whether you're going to make it or you're going to just go and buy something. So it's all up to you, the owner, or you understand, what you want to do, who is renovating, or anything you want to do, you just tell us and we will give you our idea to match what you want.
Okay. Calvin, say for instance, somebody is installing pipes in a bathroom and they set the pipes wrong. What would happen as a result of that?
Well, all right. Setting the pipes wrong. Well, all right. I wouldn't say them set the pipes wrong per se, because depending on where you're gonna screw up your vanities, right? Based on where you're screwing your vanities, if the plumber is there with you who do the installation of the plumbing, then maybe he can give you a guide to where you put the pipes, so you know you have to put a screw there to burst the pipes.
And only thing can happen again now, if the sewage, and you have a specific level what you use for the water, the drain. Because you have to set the pipe at a certain level for the water to drain out. If you don't do that, then you will find out, say, your bathroom will be, after you have a shower, water not coming out because the water not getting to run out because the pipe didn't set with a handle to run out.
Okay. Okay, wow, that's very interesting.
Yes.
I know that whenever you're building or renovating, it's so important that you choose the right tradesperson, whether that's a plumber, person installing the drywalls, person building the furniture, what have you. Tell me, what are some of the red flags you can look out for when choosing a person to do drywalling or furniture making?
Red flags for the all right, for instance, a plumber then. If you can realize a plumber, if you just come, you don't ask any question and you just put in pipe. You don't ask if you want hot water, you're going to use cold water. What you're going to use? You're going to use what kind of faucet you're going to use, and then just put in a pipe. Put in pipe and that's it. No, you have to liaise with the person and let them know and let them tell you what kind of pipe, how they want it to function, and then you can go from there. All right, because if you just come and just put in pipe, when you come and I go and buy a faucet, when I come, you might have to go and chip the wall again to take out back that pipe because that couldn't work. You understand? So those are some of the red flags. So furniture now, you didn't measure the space. You didn't measure the space and you make up a big wall. So wall, or you have the furniture already and you never measure the space, and when time to install, can't fit because nobody checked to see if we're going to come with a specific measurement for ear. So that's this can fit ear and everything uniform.
Do you have any more red flags you want to add?
No, that's it.
That's it. He basically covered everything.
Everything. Yeah.
So you've had over 25 years of experience doing plumbing, drywalling, bathroom fixtures, carpentry. And I can imagine that there are so many different clients you have interacted with. What is, in your opinion, the best experience you've had on a job?
Okay, well, best experience. I've done some work for a doctor in Ligani, and he also has an office in Spanish Town. So I think that's the best experience. And reason being, he had someone else was supposed to do the work in Ligani. But after showing them how he wanted, because I had already done the one in Spanish Town for him, so he wanted just like the one in Spanish Town. Or the person, he wanted 3 office and such like that. The person didn't know, said it couldn't work like that. So he called me and said, all right. So I went there, look at it, and when I'm finished, you get 3 office, a kitchenette, another bathroom, and a storage area. And he was so appreciative about it, and that is my best experience, both financially and and satisfaction you feel. Yeah.
So you're telling me something that tradesmen really appreciate is when their clients big them up and refer them to other people.
Yes, and I get a lot of recommendation from that work. Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yes.
Also, I think it's important to take away from that story as well that sometimes you might hire somebody at first and they tell you that they can't do a job. It shouldn't mean that you give up. Sometimes you have to look for another tradesperson to get what you actually want, right?
Right.
Okay.
And as a tradesman, I'm not feeling any way when if somebody asks me to do something and they feel like I can't do it the way how they want it, and them go and get somebody else.
You prefer them get what they want,
yes,
right?
I prefer them get what they want. Yeah. So that is me. I don't know about anybody else, but that's me.
We just talked about the best experience you've ever had on a job. I can imagine that there is a worst experience you've had. And there's an experience that is coming to mind. Can you share what that experience was like for you?
Well, Calvin, you want to tell him because it's a worse or a worse?
Let's hear from Calvin.
I'll start it then, and then Danny will finish. First, make sure you put pen to paper. Don't just take word amount for it. All right? Because we were doing the work for a client. All right? We put up the drywall before. That was what you asked for. That's what you have on paper say you want. But yes, again, you're going to beat us because what we didn't sign a contract and said, all right, this is it. We're just looking at what you bring. All right, we put up the wall. 2 days later, you come, oh, I think I have a change of thought. I don't want this right here. I want it over there. Remove it. Bear in mind. I think you should know that said, all right, you need to pay us to do all of this because that's additional work. We do it already. We do it just as how you asked for it before. All right, you say you want it to move now. All right, we do as you said before. Move it again. You come back another day. You need the next one to remove just the same. Remember, we have to burn gas to come there. We have to find money to do all of that. We have buy material
Pay
out of our
workman.
own pocket. We have pay workman just the same. So I think it's just fair for you to say, all right, we do all of that. You're gonna reimburse us back that money plus money for our time, because time is money.
Right.
So you want to finish, Danny, because I don't want to get down in the reverse part.
The worst part, man, you come with one drawing, say you want it like that, and when we actually finish, you come and you need it to change, and you don't, to compensate, you will say, they're going to charge you to do that. We agree, say, we'll talk about the changes, but after the work complete now, that's not coming. no compensation, and you know, you was doing it off a word of mouth. That's why, as Calvin say, pen to paper first. Yeah. Sometimes we just see some people and them look nice, talk nice, and all of that, and things that them have an honest heart. Yeah, that are the main thing. Another worst experience that I have in this work. Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is you need to have the contract to back up the conversations that you have with clients.
Yeah,
that's so
'cause-
important.
Yeah, it's very important, because I guess you want to know that you can take it to
You need to go a step further.
yeah, if you want to go a step further, you
Yeah.
carry it to the correct place to do that, to get your compensation, and you understand. And you don't want to tell a man, you have to pay me and this and that. No, you make somebody tell them, say, listen, this is a contract you have to pay, because this is what you signed. Yeah. So well, I can take some of the fault for that, the blame for that, because I was just going ahead of a word of mouth. So I take the blame for it. I was just working a word of mouth. You understand? So I learned my lesson. And so I would advise any tradesman, anything you're doing, pen to paper, and make sure you do your part. You do your part.
That's the first
Yeah.
thing.
And
Pen
make
to
sure
paper.
when you finish,
Let's sign this contract
yeah,
before
when you
anything
finish
else.
that and them agree and them you finish, you sign again and say complete. Every section you complete. And you can't go wrong from that.
So we're getting into segment 2 of this episode, which is rapid fire questions and games. So I'm going to ask some questions and you try to answer as quickly as possible. The first thing that comes to mind. We're starting off with top 3 things every Jamaican home must have.
Top 3 things every Jamaica: a bathroom, a kitchen, and a
Your
bedroom.
bathroom is your comfort zone, so your bathroom must be clean at all time.
Yeah.
Bathroom, then you know your kitchen and your bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing a segment of plan or scam. Basically, I'm going to give you some scenarios, and if you agree with it, you say plan. If you don't agree with it, you say scam. Skipping primer when painting new drywall.
Scam.
Well,
Like, no, for skip.
sometimes it can be saving. You don't have the money to prime. Because it's not all the while you have to prime,
So when do you need to prime versus when
When
don't
you have,
need to
all right,
prime?
if you have enough paint, you don't have to prime.
Oh, that's a hot take.
Yeah, if you have enough paint, you don't have to prime.
You look like you disagree.
No, if you even disagree, I'll tell you. If you, this is my opinion, and I prove it. Because I guess it's a finish you want, and a finish look, and guess you don't want the wall to look dry. And if you have even drywall, if you have enough paint, you don't have to prime.
Well, as him saying, if you have enough paint, but remember, after you paint the wall first, when you prime it, you have to rub it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you say enough paint, how many coats of paint are we talking?
All right, and normally you would give like 3 coats of paint, and some paint you need more than 3 coats. It depends, especially some paint will give you even one coat, and it look like it paint. If you don't have the eye, you won't see that it don't paint properly.
Okay.
You understand?
So it just depends on the kind of paint,
It depends
the
on
amount that you
on
would
it.
need.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But now,
Still
all right,
sticking
but
with
now
my
the
own prime before paint.
2 quarts of paint will cover it.
Okay.
And a regular paint after you prime.
So you say plan and you say scam. Interesting.
Yeah.
You listen what I'm just saying after
No,
your
man,
prime.
the option. You understand? Because everybody know how, you understand?
Staining wood before assembling furniture.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
that is
That's a
plan.
That's a plan.
Plan, right.
Using drywall for ceiling.
Plan.
Plan. Why is it okay to use drywall for ceiling?
First thing, it make the place cooler.
Really?
Yeah.
You can put in lights, and you can just, if you don't feel like you want that light, they say you can remove it and put it at a different place, and you don't have to chip and chop and all of that. Just like that, easily patch out.
Wow, I learned something new today. I never knew that it make the
Yeah.
place cooler.
Yeah, cooler.
drywall keep you
Make
cool.
Wow.
make the place
And that would save energy with your AC.
with your AC.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Wow.
see, you get in
Learning
there.
fast.
No, I start becoming a team drywall.
Yeah.
Okay, so final one in plan or scam. If wood splits while screwing, just add more screws.
Oh gosh.
Well, I don't even know if you answer one. If I scam, I know you don't know.
Is it a scam?
You wouldn't know what you do. That's all I could say.
Scam.
Yeah,
Scam the can't stop.
How do you avoid the wood from splitting now?
Pre-bore.
What's pre-board?
Like you use a small,
A small bit.
to bore it. Then because you have some wood that is very crispy. So if you put in the screw, it go and split. So you pre-bore it, countersink so that's the head of the
The
screw.
head of the screw.
Go down inside of it.
Okay.
So when you go like that, and then you can fill out the top of the screw head so you don't see the screw.
You fill out the top of the screw head, so what?
So you don't see the screw.
don't see
If
any
it's something
screw.
that you don't want to see the screw, you use a little filler or so and just fill out
Okay.
the top of it and stain and spray.
So we're moving to a segment called Fix It in a 60. I'm going to give you a scenario and you're going to tell me how to fix it in under 60 seconds. You ready?
60 seconds?
60 seconds.
Yeah,
That's a
60
minute.
seconds. That's a minute.
All right.
Oh,
So-
that's to tell you. Oh.
First scenario, Chichi and Nyam down my furniture them. How can I stop that?
That will
Dash
get
to it.
rid of it.
Get rid of that.
That's the only
Throw
solution?
it out.
The best solution that.
Wow. No, you don't have no fix, but
No,
that's the way?
just throw it away. If termite in it,
Termite gone in.
Throw
right?
it away.
Throw it away.
Oh,
Well,
wow.
otherwise you can use some preservative, and if that don't work,
When you say preservative, explain that to
that
the people.
they have
It's a chemical.
It's a chemical.
To poison the board.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
poison.
so if you use the preservative and that don't work, then you definitely dash it away.
Dash it away.
Throw
Because
it.
sometimes the preservatives can go so deep where the termite is, and by couple weeks time, that wear out, them at it again. So
Okay.
and it go and spread all about in the house.
How can you fix scratches in furniture?
Well, it's easy. It depends on
How deep the scratch
how
is.
deep the scratches. You get a piece of sandpaper, and you rub it out to the scratch, or maybe you might even need a little wood filler to just
Wipe
smooth
over
over it,
it.
and then just spray back the area or spray back the whole furniture.
What if it's a deep scratch? You can use that
Yeah,
method
you can
as
use
well?
the filler. The filler
There's a
does the
deep
same,
scratch. I
yeah.
still would use the filler.
Yeah.
Okay. Say I have a bathroom and the walls are tiled
Yeah.
and there's one broken tile in the wall. How can I fix that one tile without removing all the tiles from the wall?
Okay. You use a grinder and you cut an X in the middle of the tile. Don't let it run over to the other tiles. Just cut an X in the middle of the tile and just cut from where the growth. Just cut that and then you just take your hammer and just beat that and you chisel it out and put in another tile.
So how would I regrow that tile?
Now
Just normal?
Just normal. Yeah, man. You can get a flat piece of any flat rubbery thing and just use and just draw the growth inside it. If you're doing it doing it yourself, you just use your finger and just put in the shrub and growth inside it. Just one tile that.
How do you fix a small hole in drywall?
Oh. Well, you just use you cut a piece of drywall a little bit bigger than that, and that is how I do it. And just mark it out on it and just push it in, put a little compound, tape it and plaster it, and that's it.
Okay. So we have a final segment of questions. This is called Would You Rather. I'm going to give a scenario with 2 options and you're going to tell me which one you would rather. Would you rather have your drill break in the middle of a job or forget your tape measure every day?
Of the drill break and I make a lot of job.
Man. Don't want to
That's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't want my drill break. That's you know the middle of the.
You have to pick one though.
What
Eh?
have a drill break and I make a lot of job.
No, sir. Well,
Now come back, come finish.
That one is on tough here.
yeah. Me tape and the middle of the job when I want to finish.
First thing,
Alright.
your tape how you have to use for start. You have to use your tape as a
Can't
starter.
use old time days method.
No, the tape as starter.
Well, all right. Make the drill break. Yeah. And come
Would
back
you
and-
rather do a rush job with limited tools or work on a job where the client keeps changing the design every day?
I'd rather do it with a limited tool than the client keep changing every day. Yeah.
Reason being, if the client keeps changing every day, you're not gonna get for finish. Like every day the client are gonna call you back for something else.
Would you rather be paid a bonus for working a holiday weekend on 3 days or get the 3 days off but no bonus?
Bonus. 3 days. Bonus.
Would you rather work only on bathrooms for the rest of your career or only on carpentry for the rest of your career?
Me have that question in the past, cause
That was
yeah, cause
No, you can't because I like
guess
both of
what?
them.
Bathroom,
Yeah,
no, cause bathroom need carpentry just the same, and carpentry.
the bathroom just the same, you know.
Yeah,
Alright.
you'd have to
Pick between plumbing and carpentry then.
No,
Oh, carpentry.
'cause
Carpentry.
I mostly do carpentry.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
carpentry.
Carpentry take a lead right
Yeah.
there.
Thank you so much, Danny and Calvin, for joining us on this episode of The Build Up. But before we go, can you just tell the people about the kinds of jobs that you do, what area you work in, and how we can contact you?
Okay. I work in the Spanish Town area, and my number is 223-3509. So
358-8160.
yeah. So if you get any one of those number, link that's the same. But that's his personal number and this is my personal number that I give you.
And what kind of jobs do you do, just so the people can know again?
We do drywall, we do any renovation. From church, bathroom, bedroom, even a dark canal.
Even what?
A dark canal.
Dark what?
Yeah. Even a dog house. If it's even a dog house.
Wow. So you see that multi-talented,
So we
multifaceted.
Yeah. As long as we come to agreement for payment and we agree, ready. And
No free work.
All right, the free
Why
work
is it as a
coming now.
scam?
The free work coming now after you pay over we charge. Then
Yeah.
if you have something to do in
Let
the
me tell you,
process
free
while
work
we are
always
there.
come in. No matter how, unless you're really hard. Because sometimes you go someplace and somebody has something to do. Well, I'm talking about us. And them already pay you to do certain things and you know, say, time rough. May have a little time on me and you can do that for them, no problem. Yeah. If them in them conscience can look and say, all right, I'll give him $10 enough. I don't charge you, but if you say you can give me $10 feet, I don't charge you. If you give me $10, I'm satisfied, I'm gone. I don't tell you for payment. But I'd rather you use your conscience and say, boy, yeah.
Right. Thank you once again, Danny and Calvin, for joining us on the show. I'm wishing you all the best on your career moving forward.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and it was good
Nice
to be here.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of The Build Up, brought to you by Holt's Hardware. Remember to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Holt's Hardware JA. And if you ever need deliveries or pickups, remember to call us at 458-4949 or 548-3050. And remember, it doesn't just take millions to build a home. It also takes vision, determination, and a plan to make it happen. So make it happen with Holt's Hardware. I'm going to give you a scenario, and in under 60 seconds... No, that's like...
A mosquito fly.
I'm flying from morning in here. Sure. We can put this in our bloopers.